Hello friend, welcome to my channel. I'm Dani Walker. Today we're talking about the Miss Universe Telemundo interviews. If you're brand new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you know when new episodes come out every single week, as well as special episodes just like this one. This episode is brought to you by Rehearsed to Relatable. This is where pageant contestants can go to learn how to stand out in the interview room, coincidentally. If you want to learn more about that, then just click the description below. I got so many requests for this episode, and I love this because even though this wasn't the contestants' official interview, we got to see a sneak peek into really how they're going to perform in the competition. I know it's not going to be exactly the same, but these interviews are very telling of the contestants. Only a few of the contestants were selected for this interview, so I don't have a review on all of them, but some of the contestants that were selected were really big fan favorites. So let's talk about it. The first interview that I saw was Thailand, and this was really interesting. So Amanda is stunning. Like, to me, just absolutely stunning on camera and in images. She's so well styled. She just looks very consistent all the time. But what I've noticed about her interviews that I think that is starting to stand out to me more is that she doesn't dive very deep into her answers. So I think that what could really improve her interview skills are to focus in on details or things that personalize her interview a little bit more to her, and that's going to help her to stand out. I've gotten a lot of comments though from different fans around the world that love Amanda because of her speaking abilities, and I totally agree with you. She speaks English with basically no accent, and I know that that impresses a lot of people around the world. But I will say this from an American and from a personal perspective. If I were judging the competition, I'm not worried about a contestant's accent. I care more about the message that she is delivering and how it's being delivered, and I'm not really concerned about perfect English. And I think that that's something that we've still seen in years past at Miss Universe, is that not every judge is going to care so much about that perfect English on stage. What I believe is more important is her ability to carry that message. If you love seeing clips like this of the contestants, comment interview down below. Indonesia really won me over in her interview. She opened up this interview talking about how when she was 5 years old that she dreamt of becoming the first Miss Universe from Indonesia. And then later in life she realized that if she prayed that prayer, that it would be a little bit selfish because it would mean nobody besides her was going to win that Miss Universe title leading up to the opportunity she would eventually have to compete at Miss Universe. So she changed her prayer, but as it turns out, so far no one from Indonesia has won the Miss Universe crown yet. So now she changed that prayer back, and she's really hoping for that win for Indonesia. She also talked a lot about her cause that she started in 2017, Smiling Village, and she discusses the inequalities in developing countries, obviously in the ones that she sees in Indonesia. She talked about equality of education, healthcare, and security, and how she's been really working to improve those things, and specifically for women, to really inspire women to seek more for themselves than just this life where they grow up, they learn how to read and write, and then they get married. So she has such a great message, and it was a really powerful interview. I really enjoyed Philippines' interview. What was really great about this is that Rabiya talked about being a dark horse for Miss Universe Philippines and how nobody really noticed her until prelims or until the finals, and how she still came out as that winner. And I know that a lot of people on my channel either love Rabiya or have really scrutinized her, and they just don't see her as like a Catriona. But frankly, nobody's going to be Catriona, friends. Like, Catriona is her own person. Or like a Pia, right? Those two women set a really high standard for Philippines, but also for pageantry in general. So I know that a lot of people want to compare Rabiya to them, but she's just not. She's herself. But what I saw the most in this interview from the time that she's won was her confidence. She's grown. She's faced those pressures and she's risen above them, and she was talking about how no matter what happens, she's going to make everyone proud. And I think what's most important is that she's going to make herself proud, honestly, from this journey. So it was just a really amazing interview to watch, and I just felt her sincerity here. And the other thing that is a really big trademark of Rabiya is that she always speaks very passionately when something gets her really excited. So if you watch this interview, she really changes her tone towards the end with that excitement and that passion that, like I said, is her trademark. And I loved that about her. And like I've always said, I believe that's her strength. And if she has that opportunity to be in a top 5, it's going to shine on stage. Hey friend, are you loving this episode? Give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I would greatly appreciate your support. Colombia decided to answer her interview in Spanish, and I am not fluent in Spanish, but I did pick up on a few things she said. But overall, she's very proud to represent her country, and her message was to inspire young women all around the world, and I think that that's a great message always. But what I really liked about this interview is that she was fun, she was excited, she didn't take this too seriously, although she was still professional, but I loved to see that because it felt like meeting the real her. It didn't feel like a persona that she was putting on in this interview. I think that she definitely can be in that semifinal. Combine that with her stage ability and her stage presence, it's just, she's a tough competitor. So Chile really reminds me of myself as I do this. That's so funny. I talked about this in another episode, and when I said that I felt like we would really vibe after watching this interview, I felt that even more. She has these big hand movements and gestures, and she's an actress, and that reminds me of myself because that's something I had to work a lot on in pageantry, was really reeling in all of my gestures. I'm a dancer and a performer, so I always want to express myself with movement, and I see that in her as well. And I think that for her actual interview, she'll need to reel those things in. She also sounds like she's losing her voice in this interview, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope that she has a little bit more time to rest. But I love her energy that she brings, and she really just speaks from this place of excitement, and I think that that's a good thing, but she'll have to be careful in her interview, which already actually happened now at this point, but I hope that that went well. I was so excited to see USA in this interview segment, and her speaking abilities are impressive to me. Like, she just speaks with so much confidence in her voice, and she doesn't really stumble or stutter. She doesn't drag out her answers too much. She has this beautiful smile as she speaks, and there's so many things here about Aysa that just makes her very likable, and I love that. But one thing I was surprised to see in this interview is that she was speeding up her speech quite a bit, and her hands were pretty clenched. She was playing with her hands a little bit. I don't know if she was trying to get off to another event. I don't know if that was nerves, but I hope that that didn't come across in her actual interview. I hope that she took a breath and that she chose to just enjoy the moment. I think that if she can do that, that her interview is really going to stand out. India, wow, I am blown away. So huge fan favorite here. And first, let's just say that I am obsessed with her outfit. Like, this look, out of all the interview looks, personally, I loved it. I loved it the most. It was my favorite. I want to wear her dress. Also, she really gave me Princess Diana vibes in this interview. If you watch the old Princess Diana interviews, she had this very alluring quality, but she always spoke from a place of graciousness, humility, and true concern for others. And that is what India had in this interview. She really impressed me. Ladies, if you want to see a great interview, go back and watch this. I will link it in the description. It was very impressive and truly demonstrating that she embodies what a Miss Universe should be. And so after watching this, no shock to see India in a top 5 or 3. Venezuela was beautiful as always, right? Like, we know Venezuelan beauty queens are just almost these unreal figures, right? Like, they're stunning. And they opened up asking her a question about her journey to Miss Universe in this interview, and she talked about how Venezuela faced a lot of difficulties this year, like many other countries did, because of COVID and because of other things that are happening in her country, but how pageantry runs in the blood of Venezuelan women, and it's something that they enjoy, and how she sees this as this opportunity to bring joy to others. And I think that that's really important. I think that so many people nowadays need joy in their lives, and sometimes being able to just cheer for your favorite contestant can help to bring that to you. It can help to be that distraction that's so necessary. So what these queens are doing, it's not just about the physical beauty, it's about representing their country, but also so much more, inspiring the dreams of others. And I think that she really hit on that. Now, I did notice in her body language, she was sort of swaying back and forth. I don't know if her feet were killing her. If they were, girl, I totally relate. At Miss USA, I cut my toes open on the first day, okay? It was not a good time. And you're in heels a lot and your feet are just killing you. So she was swaying back and forth, and I thought that was interesting to see. And she did seem a little bit low on energy in this interview. So I hope she was able to bring her energy up for her actual interview, because she has an incredible walk. She has one of my favorite walks this year, and I think she would be phenomenal to see for a final show. Puerto Rico. So she was so relaxed on camera, and I loved that. And that is a difficult quality, to be able to feel confident under pressure, and she still brought great energy into the room. Now, she also talked about the recent success of her country in the Miss Universe competition and how she's just really excited to be able to add to that legacy. And I thought that that was a beautiful statement, because it's not the easiest thing to come in when your country had won last year, or when your country was even in that top 5, and they were first runner-up last year. So I thought that she did an incredible job with this. She, like I said in other episodes, speaks so well, and really has been working on those interview skills, and she's very comfortable, she's confident. I love it. I think that she's gonna do phenomenal during the competition. Also, let's not forget that Zuleika is a judge this year. Hello. Same country, Miss Universe 2006, remember? She's one of my favorite Miss Universes. She has one of the most incredible performances, in my opinion, and her gown when she won was just out of this world to me. So I think it's interesting that she's coming back. Who knows, maybe that'll work in favor of this year's queen. Okay, friends, so that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm working on more recaps. I'm traveling today to Hollywood, Florida, so that I can get ready and see the contestants compete on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Let me know your requests for any episodes and things that you want to see during my vlog for Miss Universe. Just leave those in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate it, and I hope that you're going to come back for lots more.